I'd like to show you some features of the OMERO.iviewer, and I'm going to open it by double clicking on an image. And here we can see a big image, large tiled sections, and let's zoom in nice and smoothly like this. I can pan around. If I shift and click, I can rotate the image and reset that using the arrow up here. I can use the bird's eye view here to pan around the image, and let's zoom in on some features here. I'm going to select the ROIs tab on the right here, and let's choose a slightly thicker line width and the Polygon Tool. And I'm going to start just by outlining this shape, and here I'm clicking for each point rather than dragging. These are separate clicks, and what that allows me to do is to drag and move the image while I'm clicking to add it. Okay, let's continue to pan over here. If I want to use a freehand tool, I can hold down the Shift key, and that allows me to draw around a shape using this freehand tool. On the left, on the right here, I can select the region selection tool and make edits to existing shapes. I selected this one. I can choose, for example, a different color, and I'm going to add a text field to it. And because I want the text to be quite large on this image, I can set the size here. By default, these are shown in the table but not on the screen. I can show them there by clicking the Show Comments tab at the top there. Okay, let's save this, and I'm going to close this window and open some slightly different images. Again, double click. So these are time-lapse images. You can see the time slider across the bottom, and if they had a Z stack, there would be a Z slider here too. And I can play through time by clicking the play button here. So these images have already had ROIs added to them, and these are actually coming from ImageJ using the Analyze Particles plugin, and saving the ROIs back to OMERO using the OMERO ImageJ plugin. So each of these shapes has a Z and T association, and by clicking on these it takes me to the correct time point and highlights the ROIs. And I can go in, and again I'm using the selection tool. I can actually go in and edit these if I wish, but in these cases these are analysis results. I probably don't want to edit these, so I can just undo those changes, and instead let's select some of these. So I'm going to add shapes, in this case an arrow, just by again clicking and click to add. And you can see that these shapes by default, they are created and tied to the current Z section, so that when I move to a different Z section they will disappear. And let's select these, and I can actually untie that, unlink it from the T and Z. So now when I move to a different time point, this will show up at all time points, and I can again link it back to the current time point by clicking this link again. Okay, let's save those new shapes, and if I want to export the view that I've got here, I can go up to File, and so the viewport is PNG, and open this, and that will have exported me an image that contains those shapes on them. As you'll notice that the ROIs coming from ImageJ also have an association with the channel that they used to generate them. And you can see that more clearly if I go back to the Settings tab and turn these channels on and off. This will also toggle the visibility of the ROIs that are associated with that channel. Up here I can use this crosshairs button to enable the reporting of image intensity. When I mouse over a point, this data is retrieved from the server, and this will report data for the currently active channels. I can also export pixel intensities for regions. So let's go to the ROIs tab and select, in fact I'm going to select a range, and I can use this by shift clicking to select a range of ROIs or shapes. And now I'm actually only interested in exporting just one of the channels, so if I turn off the red channel now, I'll just be exporting the green channel regions, and I can go up to the ROIs and export CSV, and that'll download me a table of data that I can then open in Excel, and you can see I've got just for the nuclear laminar channel, and these are types of polygons, and I have average and minimum values and that sort of thing. Okay, so you'll notice that the currently opened image is shown in the left-hand selection of thumbnails, and I can move to other images simply by a single click on these to move through them. If I use a double click, I can open additional viewers in the center, and so in this case I've got two viewers open for both on the same image, and I can use this to provide independent viewports of the same image. But I can also synchronize these by adding them to the same synchronized group. So this is added to group 1, and if I do the same for this image, so now as I move through Z and T and as I pan around the image, both these viewports are synchronized, and I can use this by selecting different viewports. I can edit the channels that are visible on them. So this can give me a nice split view of the image to inspect different channels as I move around the image. I can choose to synchronize channels and to not synchronize Z and T if I wish, and now this will turn on both channels are synchronized, but I can now move to a different time point in the two images. Okay, so let's turn this back on. And now I'm going to open up an additional image viewer of a different image, and again I'm going to do that by double clicking. And I can browse through these images just with a single click to look for the image that I'm interested in working with. And now let's add that again to the same group that contains images from different images. And now I can work through these multiple viewers, all synchronized. Okay. So, and when I close these viewers, I'll go back to a single view, and it'll open back in the full view method. So now finally I'm going to open this image in and I can open it with a number of different viewers here. I'm going to open with OMERO figure, and I can use some of what I've created in the iViewer by, let's go to the labels tab here, and I can load ROIs from OMERO, and in this list here we'll see all the ROIs from image J as expected, but also the ones that we've created in iViewer. And I can add these to the image. Okay, thanks for watching.